Alright, good morning. Welcome back. This is a follow-up video to my Snapdragon Class A ship build, which is designed based on this particular ship right here, the Capybara, which is a Class C ship. Uh, Messing around with that Class A ship, which I call the Snapdragon, kind of got me wondering if I could improve my Capybara design from what I had before, and after playing with this thing all night, I've made some small improvements, nothing major, but I've increased the cargo by about 230, and I've increased the hab space from 3 2x1 habs to 5 2x1 habs, and I've managed to keep the dimensions exactly the same. So I'll take it apart and show you how I did it, and kind of do some comparisons to the Class A ship that I based off of this one.
Got anything you need to offload? Sure, have at it.
So here in the shipbuilder, I originally had 6,000 cargo, and I now have it up to 6,230. Before, on the for the habs, I just had these 3 habs available on the top side, the 3 2x1 hab space for, and then now I've got it to where 1, 2, 3, 4. There's room for 5 2x1 habs, so almost doubling in habitable space on the ship. Made a few more modifications. I was able to get the cargo up to about 6,400, but I had to like delete the Nova braking thrusters, which I really like. I had to delete these trim pieces back here, and then without them, the ship just looks funny because you're just looking through this gap in the back. I didn't like it. Anyways, I had to make too many compromises to get it that high. Like I had to delete these pieces right here, and the ship just ended up looking stupid. So I went back to 6,230, 8 crew members. There's room for 6 passengers. 29 light year jump range, and I know everybody in the comments is going to be saying that you need 30. You don't. 29 will get you to any point in the systems, and there are no missions that require 29 or anything more than a 29 light year jump range. And the reason it's 29, and you'll see when I get into the shipbuilder, is because I'm using a Class B reactor, or excuse me, a Class B grav drive. This is a Class C ship. This is the most powerful Class B I could get in there, and the reason I wanted that is because it's lighter, and it only takes up 1 slot, whereas all the Class Cs are double slotted. So if I had a double slotted, I'd have to kill some of the cargo space, and I would lose access to one of these habs. But I'm happy with this. 29 is fine for me. This ship is what I use for the inspiration for my Snapdragon, which I now call the Awesome Possum. This is a Class A ship that I was messing around with, and I got it up to 4,100 cargo with a max crew of 8, and I think there's room for 1, 2, 3, no, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 passengers. So it actually has more passenger capacity than my Class C ship. But as you can see, it only has a 26 light year jump range, even though this is the most powerful grav drive I can put in this thing, and that's all is most I can get out of it. So this ship is just too heavy, even though I still have 100 mobility to get up to 29 light years. And the only way to do that would be to start deleting, cargo space. And at that point, I think it's just easier to take a different ship out if you needed to go somewhere that far. But anyways, I want to show you how I put this thing together real quick, and then I'll take it into combat and I'll show you how it performs. Alright, we're back in the shipbuilder. Excuse me. I got this thing disassembled. So we're going to be using a shipbed 200 landing bay from Tayo as our for our landing bay. For landing gears, we're going to be using NG20 in their wide configuration. We're going to use 4 of them. And connecting all 4 of these gears, we're going to use or excuse me, it's only going to connect the first 2. We're going to use a Deimos all-in-one berth 2x1. We'll connect our shipbed 200 landing bay to the front of that. We're going to use a second Stroud all-in-one berth 2x1 on top of the first left, or top, the front left landing gear, we're going to use a Galleon S204 cargo hold. On the front right, we're going to use a second S204 cargo hold. The third Galleon S204 cargo hold will be at the bottom, connecting, well, it doesn't connect the gears. I'll show you how I do that later. On the corner over here, we're going to use a Fuser DC 403 reactor. That RD 3000 beta grav drive will go here. As you can see, we can't connect. There's nowhere, because they're only side connections. So we're going to use these Deimos Wing A's in their aft configuration. And you see they have two snap points on the front and the rear here. So the front one is going to hook up to the reactor, just like that. And that leaves a snap point in the rear to connect our gear. We're going to do the same thing with the other side, a Deimos Wing A in the aft configuration. And we can hook up our last, or fourth, NG20 landing gear right there. Now, as you can see, we have our three engines all snapped together. These are the Poseidon DT230s. If you have the SAL 6830 engines, the one you get from that all-in-one, all the money can buy quest from Stroud, there's another ship that I'll link at the end of this video that would be much better for you to build. However, if you haven't done that quest, or excuse me, mission, I keep saying quest, I came from World of Warcraft. If you haven't done that mission, then this is probably the best you're going to be able to get. These engines are really powerful, and this cargo is, like I said, probably about as high as you're going to be able to get. So we'll hook up our second, or excuse me, this will actually be our third Deimos Wing A, and this is going to be also facing aft to the sides of the engine. And our fourth Wing A in the aft configuration, just like that. Now when you grab it, you can just snap it on. Have I, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot. I gotta have this stuff hooked up first. So I use a Deimos Battle Station 2x2 and another Deimos all-in-one berth 2x1 hab. Now we can snap on our engines. If you look under the engines, you got this big gap here, and I don't like that. So I tried to keep the trim pieces down to a minimum because they take up mass, and the more mass you use on trim pieces, the less you can use for habs and cargo spaces or weapons or whatever. But I don't mind using these because they look pretty good right here. They fit in. These are the Hope Tech Cap A's facing aft, two of them on top of the gears, and it just fills in that slot very nicely. In the cavity back here, we're going to use our two fuel tanks. Check my notes here. It says I did some calculations to jump. The farthest jump I could make in the game was 312 fuel, and these two fuel tanks will give me 320. So perfect. And these are the Titan 550 HE tanks. I'm using two of them. They fit in just like that. On the front of the ship, we have our Cabot C3 bridge from Nova Galactic. Snaps right on the front. And these are these Nova braking engines. Like I said, I normally don't like to have a lot of trim pieces if I can avoid it because it just takes up mass. However, I really, really like the way, actually, you know what, I'll hook these up in a minute, but I really like the way these are snapped on once I get these wings put on. So I got like half a wing up here. We're going to add the other half. And these are the Deimos Wing A's, and these are facing forward. It's the same thing on the bottom one. Wing A, facing forward. Snap that one there. That one there. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Wing A's all together. Now, back to these Nova braking engines. You could snap them on like this to the sides of the tile, or to the sides of the shipbed landing bay, or you can flip them and you can connect them to the sides of the wings that are sticking out. And I kind of like that, the way it looks. I don't know, it doesn't really matter, but I just like the way that looks. So we'll stick that in there like that. I really like the way that these braking thrusters look under this particular cockpit. Our shield is an Assurance SG 1800. We'll just stick that on the back. And then for our cargo, which we're basically using to cover up the exposed components on the sides here, I'm using these 400 cm and a 400 cm from Sextant. And the other sides, I believe these are two 300s. Yeah, two 300 cms from Sextant. Now these are the same dimensions, even though they're different size, or they hold different cargoes capacities. They're the same dimensions, so they look the same. And that's the ship. Why does it say I have 3 errors? Oh, I forgot to put this thing on. I'm using a Slim Docker 100. If you didn't know, you can flip these up and back and forth using the Z key. Damn, I suck at this. Damn it. Alright, now we snapped it on there onto the bottom hab. One thing I didn't like, it's the bottom of the ship, so I guess it doesn't matter, is these just don't, they look different on, you see the reactor sticking up the bottom here, and I got the thing. I could have the grav drive sticking down, but you can't paint this particular grav drive. It's just silver looking. At least this one is the same color. I could make this in the middle and then have two Galleon S204s on the other side, but I'd have to give up one of the habs to do that, and it's just, I'm not going to do that. Anyways, we got a nominal check here for the weapons. I'm using 4 of these PBO auto neutron turrets, 4 of these PBO 175 auto helion beams, and 6 of the Vanguard auto projector, obliterator auto projectors. And I'm at 2,815 mass. I have 2 mass left. I guess this is in kilograms. I used to say tons, but I think they are doing it in kilograms. So I have 2 kilograms left of mass, and I'm going to use that for, I have one attach point here and one attach point here, and I'll use that for the comm spike and the conduction grid once I do that to finish up the quest from the Crimson Fleet. And that'll put me at 2,817, which is the maximum. Anything over 2,817, then the mobility will start to drop down. So pretty tight fit, but I'm happy with the way it came out. And as I was showing earlier, this is the hab space that we have to work with. So I used to just have the top layer here, but now I was able to figure out how to kind of Tetris this and move stuff around, and honestly it was kind of a pain in the ass, but it was worth it. So like I said, I was able to increase the cargo from the original design of this ship from 6,000 to 6,230, increase the hab space from 3 2x1 habs to 5 2x1 habs, and I think the weapons are about the same. Now if you wanted to add different weapons, or you wanted to increase or put something on here, but you wanted to keep 100 mobility, the easiest thing to do would be to just delete one of these 400 cm things and then put a 300, and that drops your thing. Now it gives you what, 17 plus 9, so yeah, it gives you like 26 kilograms to play with. And then if that wasn't enough, you could switch that one to a 300. So it's just a matter of stepping down, because they're all the same size, which is, well, actually the lowest one isn't the same size, but these are the same size, the 400 and the 300s, which is pretty cool, because it gives you a lot of flexibility on how to, balance things out and keep the weight as high as you can get and still keep the mobility at 100, which is, you want it to be as efficient as possible. Or I mean, if you don't care, you could just keep adding, and your mobility can go down to 0. I've seen people build ships like that you can't turn, but I don't know, whatever floats your boat. All right, so that's the ship. I think it's a pretty sexy looking ship. I mean, I could add like radiators and all kinds of stuff to the side of it, but like I said, I'm trying to make this the most efficient build possible. And I wanted to get the like I said, the mass or the cargo capacity as high as I could get. Still have the 5 habs and all the weapons and shields maxed out. I could, I didn't add Class C weapons to this. Well, I think the turrets are Class C. Are they? I don't even remember now. Most of the weapons are Class B, but
Anything I can help
honestly, it
you?
doesn't matter because
Sure.
when you go into
How about
combat, it just shreds everything. Yeah, these are the Class B ones. So I have no Class C weapons on this ship. They're all Class Bs, except for the auto projector cannons. Those are Class A's. You don't get access to those until you do the Vanguard, like the first couple quests or missions in the Vanguard quest line.
A brief history of time. If you find any addition, any at all, I will be your friend like forever.
I don't want to do it so bad.
So, I hear you've been making yourself pretty useful around the ship.
Weird.
So that was an all-in-one.
I
This is
have.
the second
I want
all-in-one.
to be as good
You can
a
go to the
co-pilot
cockpit
for
from
the
down here.
captain as I am for you.
Up here, we'll take you into the battle bridge where the crew works while they're in space flight. And then the third all-in-one hab, or
And I love it.
2x1 hab up here.
Now, a new book.
So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 12 bunks, 3 bathrooms, and the workstations in here. So this carries 6 passengers, 8 crew. Actually, you know what? Let's just take off regular. Because, let me get Omari on the ship. I keep forgetting to put him on here. Omari, confirm. Okay. I wanted to keep Sarah off because I wanted to, when I was doing my fuel calculations, I didn't want to have her on board and mess up, like when I do my minimum, I never include the buff that she gives, the 50% fuel reduction. So that's 6,000, was it 6,230 cargo? I have the payloads buff that that increases the cargo capacity by 50%, and I have Samco on board, which I believe is about another 10%. So we'll get into orbit here. What the fuck are you doing?
We could stay here forever.
Alright, whatever. So as you can see, I have 10,793, so I came up just a little short of 11,000, which is pretty damn good for a ship that's not using those SAL 6830 engines. And why is it I thought I'd have more shields. I don't know, whatever. Did I have... Tell me I got the right shield on there.
Well, for a while anyway.
This is freaking me out. Alright, give me 1 second. Alright, sorry, I'm back. I had to land and take off again. I don't know what happened to Sam. He got stuck up on the side of my cockpit there, like right in the middle of my view. But we're going to fly over to the Serpentis system, blow up a few of the zealots just to test things out.
New chords are right on the money.
Alright.
Dad, do you think Solomon Coe would have liked me?
Sure. Everybody likes you, don't they?
Well, I guess
Do
they're not
you
coming
think
out.
he would
I
have
was
liked
out here just a little while ago playing around. Try coming over to this hotspot.
You?
Well, if you listen to your grandpa, Solomon Cole would have given me a good whooping. But I think he would have liked my immigrant.
Face your suffering.
Target's jump drive is down.
Can't skip the system with a fried grab drive, huh?
Stop boosting.
Yes! Their grab drive is out of commission. Target's grab drive is offline. Nice work.
Seems like a lot of ships. Alright, we'll try one more. Let's fly over to this place right here.
You shall be judged. Our engine
Ah, there goes their engine.
damage.
The target's sitting there, but no grab drive now.
We lost the engine.
Bam! Down. Engine's fried. Ah! Got their grab drive.
It's pretty easy. I'm happy with it. Like I said, if you're gonna not use the SAL 6830 engines, this is the ship to go for, or a ship that would be good to go for. I'm not saying you gotta use my designs because it's ridiculous, but if you have the 6830s, I'll post a link to another design that I think is a lot more efficient. I think the cargo goes up to like 8,200 and something base, and has more hab space and better weapons. But let's take a look at photo mode here real quick. For a ship, Class C ship, it's really small. It's only, what's it, 38 meters long by 34 meters wide. So it's actually like less than half of the maximum allowed length. I think this came out pretty, looking pretty good. I'm happy with it. Like I said, this was the original inspiration to make that Class A ship, the one that had the 4100 cargo, so that everybody seemed to like. But, alright, well, thanks for watching.